Hello and welcome to I'm Just Here to Listen podcast. This podcast is sponsored by Jameen Delman Studios and Made Equal Clothing. In today's episode, we have podcast host Jerome Hill, who's going to be coming to us from a political policing standpoint when it comes to rappers in the industry and how their lyrics can almost imprisonate them, or could it imprisonate them? We'll find out here. See you guys on the show.
I'm just here to listen. Podcast bringing the best in music, sports, theater, and live on television. Listen. So intentional with the message, imagery, representation. Don't need a second guessing. Listen. No talking, level surface, reverse it. It's encrypted on purpose. Listen. You mean and the team so grateful. Each week we deliver to the faithful. I'm just here to listen.
Welcome to the show, Jerome. How you doing, man?
I'm doing, man. I mean, I'm lifing.
I don't know what that means. What does life mean?
I'm just going through this thing called life. That's all.
Yeah. So you were an ex law enforcement officer.
Mm-hmm.
So you was a police officer.
Yeah, I was a police officer, an investigator, a detective. You know, I did a whole bunch of stuff.
Did you? How long ago did you stop policing?
Wow. 2015. So
2015.
Yeah, almost.
Bro, that's like 10 years ago.
Yeah, almost 10 years.
So you're out of date.
Not quite. You know, I still have tentacles in the Office of the Attorney General, as you know. I'm involved in that way with policy, and so I got to be pretty current on everything that's going on.
What is this? You sound like Keith Sweat in the radio right now. It's like you're like changing your tone, and you're like, I got to.
Yeah, no.
So are you a police officer or not, sir?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I've been known to put people's in the ground.
Really?
Yeah.
So tell me, why did you stop policing? Why did you stop being an officer?
Well, the short of it was, I was just getting in a lot of trouble. And what I mean by that is that, after the Major League Baseball scandal, really took flight. Of course, as an officer, you're not going to be able to go ahead and, with officer salary, push back a $4 billion conglomerate like Major League Baseball and there was politics that were involved in this too, former governors. And, all that put together, I could see the writing on the wall that the more I pushed, the worse it was going to be for me.
I'm afraid of police officers.
Yeah, there was really some cool police officers out there. There's
not many of them.
Well, I tend to disagree. What you hear, much like just for the audience members to understand, what you hear a lot of times is the officers that are fucking up that's on the news. And so that's a small sample. It's almost like, people with pit bulls. All of a sudden somebody gets bit by a pit bull, and then you're in the news and you start hearing it more often and more frequently.
I hear more police officer brutality than pit bull bites.
You say what?
I hear more police brutality than pit bull bites.
Yeah.
I mean, when was the last pit bull bite that you heard of?
I don't remember one.
Exactly.
No reason.
But you could probably remember a most recent police brutality.
Oh, without a shadow of doubt.
So maybe that wasn't the best analogy.
Yeah, those are the most sensationalized.
Have you ever been bitten by a pit bull?
Have not been bitten by a dog, but not by a bull.
Have you ever had police brutality?
No.
Well, you're police, so I guess. No. Have you ever been brutal to people?
Have I been brutal to people? No.
Mm-hmm.
I've been unkind.
In the public? Yep.
Yeah, I've been unkind to people. Yeah.
Is it like a prerequisite as a police officer to be brutal to like the public?
No. And just speaking from my perspective. I stand about 5'6",
5'6".
5'6",
Mm.
only, 180, 185. Most of the guys I'm dealing with are much bigger than I am. And they try to psychologically fuck you and intimidate you. And as I was saying in the beginning of the podcast, you have to put their dick in the ground.
I don't even know what that means. Do you like literally grab their ding-a-ling and put it in the ground?
No. They get dwarf tossed it to the ground because they want to go ahead and be physical with you. And,
Well, because you're not intimidating. You're like 5'3",
right,
150 pounds.
exactly.
I wouldn't be scared.
No,
So if you came up to me talking about hey, you're under arrest, I'm like, okay, sir, go back to your car where you belong.
Yeah, but then it's kind of hard when you can't breathe because in between the web of my hand, your esophagus is being squeezed.
Wait, what happened?
You comply. You'd comply.
People will comply with you?
Sure. Eventually.
How do you get people to comply with you?
First, my mere presence.
Your presence isn't there, so it can't be the presence.
So you say that after that turn, then you go ahead and give a verbal command.
What's the verbal command?
Put your hands behind your back.
I refuse. You're 5'3" and 150 pounds. I'm not putting my hands behind my back.
I'm going to do soft techniques.
What technique?
I'm going to go ahead and see if you're passively aggressive. I may grab you.
I'm going to be passively aggressive to you because you're 5'3", 150 pounds. I might even outrun you.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's in my wheelhouse. So
what's that? Running?
Yeah.
You can't run that fast. Your legs only stretch so far.
Oh, no. But have you ever seen a roach?
A roach? Yeah. I see plenty of those.
They go real fast, right?
Yeah. Where are you going with this? Are you saying you're in comparison to a roach?
No, Speedy Gonzalez.
So you're fast.
Yeah.
How fast would you say you are?
You can't have a whole bunch of struggles, right? You got to have something to your benefit. Speed.
So in your benefit, you're fast. So would you chase a 6'3", 350-pound man, all muscle?
350-pound man at 6'3", they better be in the NFL. And they're not running a 4.4.
That didn't answer my question.
Would I do that? Absolutely.
How would you take him down?
I would ram him down to the ground.
How? He's 6'3", 350 pounds, and you're 5'3". He's like a foot bigger than you.
180. Hey, say 180, right? So you're 180. You're going really, really fast, and I have the center of gravity. That's not a survivable moment for them.
How do you take a 6'3" guy down, 350 pounds, at being your size?
Just drop his legs off.
So you'll tackle the legs?
Yeah, easy.
What if he got a gun?
I got a gun too.
So what? This is a shootout?
He lost.
How?
He's not going to get to it faster than I am.
The odds of you taking this guy down are slim to none. Would you agree?
No, not at all.
How would you take down? Say that I'm a 6'3" guy, 350 pounds. How would you take me down if I'm running from you?
I will chase after you and take your legs out.
How would you take my legs out? Shoot them out?
No, I wouldn't shoot them out. How are you going to be able? First of all, you're running from me, right? That means
I'm running
behind, right?
Yeah.
See what I'm about to do to you?
No,
you can't. You better hope that you get in front of me. His chance is if I'm in front of him. But that's no chance for him. I got the element of surprise. I could take out his knee in 2 seconds flat. It's over.
Could you give me distance? Like how fast can you run?
So first of all, you have to hope and pray that guy at 6'3", you said 350 pounds,
could
run more than 20 yards.
Well, my thing is, say he can't run fast because he's a big guy.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, there's a good chance you'll be able to take him down.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, you'll catch up to him, not take him down.
Mhm.
How would you take me down? You'll hit my legs.
Yeah.
And what? I'm just gonna let you hit my legs. Obviously, I know you're gonna go for my legs because you're closer to my legs than anything else.
That's what you're saying now in the static situation. But if I'm running after you and you're 6'3", what is it? The taller and bigger they are,
The harder they fall. You believe that saying?
I've seen it happen.
You don't think people who are shorter fall just as hard as people who are taller?
Sure, it can happen.
I think it hurts either way when you fall, tall or short.
No, there's something to be said about physics.
What's that?
You know, as their head's coming down, what are you going to do?
Your head's coming down too if you're short.
Yeah, but think about distance. It's physics. You don't have much to fall down from. They do.
Not that much. It's like a foot
Yeah.
in your case,
Yeah.
or
But-
maybe a couple of inches.
If you're crumbling that quick, it's over. I'm just going 2 big or 24. Can you start an ambo this way? That's all.
How many people would you say you've arrested in your lifetime?
Well over 1,000.
I'm sorry?
Well over 1,000.
How many of them were black, percentage-wise?
I would say about maybe about 56%.
56%? Half of the people were black? Why is that? Why are you only going to arrest black people?
Well, the areas of where I work were predominantly African-American areas.
So they put you in the African-American area? Is it because you're African-American?
No, I just think that you know, in cities like Pittsburgh and in housing projects and Baltimore City and down here in South Florida, you know, you have a larger concentration of African Americans or minorities. Now, if I lived in Wyoming, guess who I would be locking up?
Who was that?
A bunch of cowboys.
You think they get locked up a lot in comparison to Boston?
More white people get locked up than black people.
Huh?
More white people get locked up than black people.
That's because there's more white people here. So you can't really base it on that.
Yeah.
But if you had to base it on the ratio.
Close to half of my arrests in Baltimore City were white people.
Huh?
Yeah.
But you said 56% was locked up. The 56% of people you locked up were black. So that means that 44% of them were white, Hispanic, and other. It's not a lot.
Well, let me go ahead and back that up. 56% were minorities. Let's put it that way.
Minorities, what does that mean?
That they're non-white.
So everybody else outside of white.
Right.
When you lock up people, what is one of the top reasons why somebody would go to jail?
Oh, for me, it was narcotics.
Narcotics? What is that?
Yeah, drugs, illicit drugs.
What kind of drugs? Like weed?
Weed sometimes, but majority heroin, cocaine.
Heroin.
Mm-hmm.
So walk me through that process. How do you even know somebody has heroin on them? You're riding in your car. How do you see How do you know somebody have heroin without actually seeing it?
Well, you don't, right? Unless you are very specific or you're doing it some type of sting operation. Or many times for what I used to do was have binoculars be set up somewhere and see, the transaction, known individuals who were doing this type of stuff. So a lot of times when you're in plain clothes and you're just blending into the community, and you're there often, people don't even realize that you're there doing surveillance.
Okay, let's just say I have heroin on me and I was walking the street. As a police officer, you're patrolling the road. How would you know I have heroin on me?
I wouldn't know.
So I could just keep walking on. You wouldn't even know I have heroin on me.
even though you had it on you. There's a lot of people walking with all types of things on them. I wouldn't know one way or another.
So you guys just drive on by. So how do you catch people with heroin if that's like your number one arrest?
Mm-hmm. So let's just say I did pull up on somebody, right?
Let's just say you pulled up on me.
Okay, let's just say I pulled up on you, and I ask you about your whereabouts. You know, where you're going. Hey,
let's just act it. We can reenact it right now. Here we go. Air action. Hello.
Hey, hey, do you live in the area?
Why?
I was just trying to go ahead and make sure that everybody's safe here. I hadn't seen you before.
Yeah, here? I'm safe. I'm pretty safe. But thanks for your concern.
Okay. Hey, can you help me out with something?
Yeah, what you got?
All right. We were looking for a person this foot tall, this weight, or anything.
5'3", 150 pounds, police officer.
5'3", 150 pounds.
He's in front of me.
He's in front of you? Oh, okay. All right. You good?
I'm good. Are you good?
You got any weapons or anything that I should be concerned about?
I don't understand. How does that have anything to do with you?
Okay. No drugs or anything like that? What's your name? You're not wanted on any warrants, are you?
I don't know. Am I?
I don't know. What's your name? Date of birth?
I don't think I need to disclose that to you.
And you don't have to.
Are you detaining me, sir?
No.
Okay.
You're free to go.
Thank you.
And that's it. And that is it. And a lot of people don't know their rights. So there are a lot of people that would consent. But you know your rights.
Do I?
In that scenario, you did.
So how do you handle people who don't know their rights? Do you take advantage of them?
Same type of questions I just asked you. And they give me consent.
How do you feel about people who don't know their rights? You guys feel like it's a way to take advantage of people who don't know their rights? Or?
Well, this is how I feel about that. Our educational system is screwed up. And for whatever reason, and I can name a whole bunch of reasons, but for whatever one of those reasons, they want people to be ignorant. And not that I actively take advantage of that, but it is a means to go ahead and make sure that if there is something that needs to be targeted, for example, if we had a bunch of shootings out there, bodies dropping, a proliferation of drugs in a particular area, it does help in that sense to ask individuals.
I think police officers like taking advantage of people who don't know a lot about the law.
What happened?
I think that police officers like taking advantage of people who don't know a lot about the law.
I think they benefit.
There's a benefit to them. Why?
If you don't know the law, then of course you're able to go ahead and have more.
So why is it that officers just don't explain to people their rights right then and there?
Sure, we do. When you're under arrest.
Well, no, before the arrest.
Sure, I can go ahead and give you your Miranda.
Not you, but like most officers don't say like, "Hey, just to let you know, you don't have to answer this question. Just to let you know, why don't they like start with that?"
They could, but that would be defeating the purpose, right?
No, because it's the law.
It is. It's the law to go ahead and.
But if you're required to enforce the law, you should enforce the law all around.
No. I think that a lot of people get that confused. It is the law to go ahead and give somebody their Miranda rights if something that they're about to say is going to incriminate them, especially after we found some type of probable cause, or even we're reasonably suspicious of something that's going on, and we've asked them something innocuously.
Yeah, because you guys have superpowers that most people don't. You guys have the superpower of suspicion.
People can have
Yeah.
So
I
it's not,
think most of us have the superpower of suspicion.
yeah, and it goes both ways. And
Right.
just like in that
What if we're
scenario-
suspicious of cops? Can
huh?
we arrest you guys?
No,
Is that a real thing, citizens arrest?
it is.
We can arrest cops?
No,
Oh.
you never want to go ahead and arrest cops. That's not going to be. That's not a good outcome. What I would tell you to do is to go ahead. You fight cops in court. You don't fight cops on the street. There's no. You're not going to win that in any way. Or, you go to internal affairs. You go to city hall. You go to your civic business people who have connections with individuals. That's just not going to be. I don't see how that's ever helped anybody trying to fight a cop. Now, there's been instances where people. I think there's one recently where an individual cop had some type of disturbance or whatever it was. It was some type of uh, call that he went to, and he went to the wrong apartment. And this individual disrespected that man's mother, the cop. And I think the guy got it on with the police officer. I don't know what was made out of it, but there are instances where individuals who come across the law and the law was dead wrong, and the courts were like, mm-mm. If he put your hands on you, he wouldn't even know. Yes, sir.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Can we go back to the citizens arrest? How can I practice citizens arrest?
How can you practice it?
Like, yeah, when can I arrest? When can I arrest as a citizen?
Well, if you see, once again, we're coming back onto the law portion of this. If I would not try to lock up anybody for any type of misdemeanor whatsoever, but if you see something a felonious event, but would you know what a felony is if you saw one?
Yes.
Okay.
If somebody was carrying heroin.
In what capacity?
I just saw it hanging out of their pocket. And I was like, hey, that's heroin, sir. You're under citizen's arrest. Get against the wall.
No. How much did you see? Just a little bit? A whole bunch?
Don't matter. I saw it.
No. You wouldn't be able to. That wouldn't be able to fly.
Well, how would I be able to arrest them? But I got to have a meter to weigh out the amount of heroin they have. Like, excuse me, sir, there's heroin in your pocket. Give me that heroin. I need to put it on a meter. And if there's too much, I'm going to arrest you.
Mm-hmm. No. What I'm getting at is this, is that what type of training do you have to know it's heroin?
I watch a lot of Forensic Files.
Yeah, that's not going to fly in court. You even Judge Judy would probably go ahead and kick this out. No, you're going to have to do a little bit better than that. What else do you see? Tell me a little bit. What else?
I saw this guy. His pants was down. He was 5'3", 150 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
He had a badge and some guns,
mm-hmm.
and a flashlight,
right,
and a handcuff. And I saw him walking with heroin hanging out of his back pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a logo on his shirt called police. So I decided to stop him.
Yeah.
And say, excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
I need to weigh that heroin that's in your pocket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. With that scenario, you're probably going in for an evaluation. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because you would have to, how are you going to be able to testify in court that you're an expert witness on what heroin looks like? And on top of it,
I Googled it.
What do you know? What if the person's using it just to sniff it? That's their own personal use, right? You better get into them, seeing them going ahead and transporting it and selling it.
Yeah, but they're using it. If I see them on it, if I see they have it on them, then I'm going to assume that they're using it.
No, that's still no. That's not going to get it there. You're not going to get it there yet.
So I can't arrest them as a citizen.
No. As far as you're concerned, it could be crushed up drywall. It could be crushed up Tylenol, and you thought it. Oh, damn! I thought that was heroin.
So what? I have to taste it as well.
You better not.
So how would I know?
You wouldn't know.
So how would I arrest them?
How would you arrest them? You're not. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You're not.
So then citizen arrest is bullshit.
No. In that scenario, it is.
How could I arrest somebody as a citizen?
All right. You see somebody just do a hit and run, and you're in your car, and you follow that person. You're calling it in, right? You see them trying to run out of the vehicle, and you chased and tackled them, and you held them there for police. That's citizen's arrest. That'll get you.
I'm minding my business.
See, you're minding your business there.
What if he was 6'3", 350 pounds? How am I going to tackle that guy?
You should be able to do that from behind. Just don't let him square up on you if you don't have no training.
I don't think he's going to be afraid of a guy like me. I'm only 5'9", 160 pounds. So I'm 3 inches taller than you and weigh 10 pounds, a little bit more. So we both would be in trouble.
5'6", 150. Oh, I'm sorry. You got me you got me caught up in you got me out at 180.
You're 180 pounds, not 150?
No, I'm pretty stocky.
I'm not.
Yeah.
So I'll be more in trouble than you would be. I'm
not going to be in trouble. I mean, I have lots of training. But yeah, I would think that.
So what would you give advice to somebody who don't have a lot of training to be a citizen's arrest, to do a citizen's arrest? I think it's suicide.
Yeah. Don't do it. Please don't.
Don't ever do citizen's arrest.
Why do we need 2 victims?
Yeah, because who's going to be walking around with handcuffs anyways?
Right.
Not me.
Imposters and the police.
Right. Not me. I don't have handcuffs on me anyways.
Yeah.
And I don't know if somebody would actually listen to me, especially if I'm pulling up in a 1997 Ford Ranger. 2-door. That's the vehicle I drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the scenarios you're given, I would tell you, don't do it. It's not a survivable event. Yeah, just stay away from that.
How do you feel about P. Diddy?
He's done.
I had a conversation with a rapper who said no Diddy.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. That means no homo.
So talk to me about this. So he says he knows him. You've been to any of your parties?
He didn't know him. He just says anytime, like, no Diddy in today's, era, no Diddy means no homo. But have you ever been to a Diddy party?
Hell no.
Would you go?
Yeah.
Why?
Check out what's going on.
So you would go from a cop standpoint?
Oh, without a doubt.
You wouldn't go just to hang out?
No, I'd probably go to hang out too.
Interesting
stuff. I'm pretty much good like that.
So you would go to hang out just to scope it out?
Yeah.
Would you dance and party?
What do you mean by party?
It's a Diddy party. Party is the key word.
Yeah. Absent of the drugs? No, I'm not doing that. But
you're not doing it? Absent of. So if there was no drugs involved, would you go to a Diddy party?
Yeah, of course I go to a Diddy party.
Why?
Why not? They had several rooms, right? They had individuals there that were partaking in clean adult fun and then other extracurricular activities with I even heard what male on male type of
Thank you for being here and listening. Subscribe to the vibes, send your support or oppositions in. I'm just here to listen in. Podcast here for the repositioning, reclaiming black entertainment, exhibitioning, transitioning to more informative news, mentioning celebs, who's sleeping with who's is not what we soliciting. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening.